LaSalle alum BJ Johnson is signing a 10-day contract with my new favorite NBA team, the Atlanta Hawks. Hello, I'm Tegan Lamont.
And I'm Dana Pecora. Men's basketball won, and that's it. That's all that really matters. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explore Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. Men's basketball played twice at home this week, and being the big men's basketball fans that we are, we got out to cover both of them.
And later, we will have the second part of our interview with Athletic Director Bill Bradshaw.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
Number 1. Junior Jackson Ray is the latest Explorer to take home Big 5 Pitcher of the Week after teammate Matt Holt won the award last week. The left-hander struck out 7 hitters over 7 innings while only giving up 5 hits in a shutout win over Ryder. This is his first win on the season in just his second appearance.
Number 2. Swimmer Zachary Wolbert headlined the field for LaSalle at this year's A10 Championships. The freshman earned 5 medals for LaSalle with 2 individual medals and 3 team medals, and broke 3 school records in the process. He most notably broke a school and conference record in the 200 fly, finishing with a time of 1 minute 46 seconds. Wolbert also broke the school record in the 400 IM, clocking in with a time of 3 minutes and 49 seconds to take the silver in the event. These accomplishments earned him the title of Outstanding Rookie Performer at the championship. This award is his 3rd A10 honor this season and caps off an outstanding start to his career at LaSalle.
Number 3. Track and field broke 2 school records at the A10 Championship. First, junior Darian Alston broke the triple jump record, leaping for 15.2 meters to capture the gold. Alston has previously set this record twice already in this semester, initially at the Penn State Invitational. The other record was set by Ariel Mitchell. In preliminary rounds, Mitchell surpassed her own school record by 7.58. However, Mitchell was unable to finish the job as she fell to second place. We will have more on the track and field team later. Well, that's all we've got for top 3, so let us take a look at how our athletes did this week. Men's basketball looked to erase a 2-game losing streak when they took on a poor Richmond team at the Tom Gola Arena. Miles Williams has the coverage.
In their latest home game, the Explorers went up against the Richmond Spiders. Despite the back and forth early, the Explorers ended up down by 8 but battled back to go into the half down 1. Junior guard Isaiah Deese led the team with 13 first half points while adding 5 boards. Coming out of the break, David Beatty hit the first shot and gave the Explorers a 45-44 lead. The remainder of the game was a back and forth one with both teams exchanging lead changes. Deese hit a big 3 that tied the game at 75 with 1:46 to play. However, the Explorers couldn't finish the game, letting Richmond hit a 3 that gave them a 5-point lead, then turning the ball over on the following possession. Senior guard Pookie Powell led the way with 24 points while knocking down 4 of his 7 shots from beyond the arc. Deese finished with 16 points and LaSalle lost 84-75. The record is now 8-18 and are 6-8 in the A10. For SportsLine, I'm Miles Wood.
The men then looked to bounce back against a very solid Davidson team at home in a gritty performance. Isaiah Clark has the coverage.
Wednesday, February 27th, men's basketball went head-to-head against Davidson. The scoring came fast and easy as both teams combined to score 24 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. The Explorers got hot starts from their starters, leading to a great first half that led to LaSalle leading by 9 at the half with a score of 38-29. Saw Fury led the charge as he ended the first half with 14 points. Building off their great first half, the blue and gold kept the pedal to the metal in the second. They didn't allow the lead to drop below 7 the entirety of the half. After scoring 10 in the first, Isaiah Deese scored another 15. The final score of the game was 79-69 as LaSalle completed the upset against Davidson. Both Tracy Carter and Shaggy Deese ended the game with career highs in points as they scored 25 and 24 respectively. The win brings LaSalle's record to 9-18 overall and 7-8 in conference. For SportsLine, I'm Isaiah Clark.
Despite outscoring their opponents in the second half, the women's basketball team fell by 4 points against Richmond on Sunday. The Richmond offense had an early 9-0 run to put LaSalle on their heels. LaSalle eventually found their offense, but Richmond ended the frame on top with a 20-9 lead. To the end of the first half, the Spiders increased their lead to 34-19. LaSalle found their offensive groove in the third quarter with an 8-0 run to end the third quarter and to decrease the deficit to 10 points. The Explorers opened the fourth quarter with 5 points, which forced Richmond to take a timeout with 8 minutes remaining in the game. LaSalle came as close as 3 points, but ultimately could not complete the comeback. They hit the court again with a vengeance on Wednesday as they defeated St. Bonaventure 52-45. Senior Jaren Reese earned the second double-double of her career with 10 points and a career high of 16 rebounds. The game marked the best defensive performance of the season and tied the record for rebounds with 61. Shalina Miller tied a 33-year-old single season block record with 55 and is on her way to breaking it.
Men's baseball took 2 out of 3 games against Rider at home. A 7th-inning rally put LaSalle on top in Game 1. With runners on base, Ben Fazo smacked a 2 RBI double to center field. Quentin Brown then ripped a single, which allowed Fazo to cross the plate a few batters later. Kevin McGowan hit an RBI single. LaSalle added an insurance run in the 8th and won 7-5. Stellar pitching by Jackson Ray is what led LaSalle to another win. Ray pitched 7 scoreless innings and struck out 7 batters while on the mound. The offense scored 3 runs in the 7th and won 3-0. In Game 3, LaSalle fell behind early on. Matt Rivera tied the game in the 7th with a homer, but Rider scored 2 more runs in the top of the 9th to take the lead and ultimately won 7-6.
Softball opened their season at the Campbell Invitational this past weekend. The first 2 games of the weekend were canceled due to weather, but the Explorers were able to play their last 2 games against Fairfield and Campbell. Against Fairfield, the Explorers scored on an error to take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Fairfield went ahead in the top of the 4th with a 3-run inning. The Stags broke it open in the 6th with a 7-run inning to take the 10-1 win. Against Campbell, the Camels scored 3 early runs off freshman Kaylee Joyce and added a run in the 5th and 2 in the 6th to win the game 6-0. The Explorers struggled at the plate, scoring only 1 run across the 2 games.
After a successful opening matchup last week, the lacrosse team returned to its home turf, hoping to bring home another win. However, the team's hopes were dashed as the Explorers experienced their first loss of the season, falling to Manhattan College. Early scoring opportunities by the Jaspers put the Explorers down by 2 in the first 5 minutes of play. Junior Gabby Burton contributed to 2 back-to-back goals in response to bring the blue and gold back from their early setback and tie the game. Another point by sophomore Maddie Dukowski took the Explorers to half within the lead. However, the Jaspers came back with a vengeance in a second-half scoring blitz. 7 goals by 7 different players sealed the game's fate. A final LaSalle goal by sophomore Bridget Ruski was not enough as the game concluded with the Explorers defeated 9-4. The Explorers then prepared for a game against the Delaware Blue Hens. Isaiah Clark has the coverage.
Tuesday, women's lacrosse took on Delaware. The scoring started early as Delaware scored a goal in the first 2 minutes of the first half. LaSalle quickly responded with a goal of their own from sophomore Maddie Dukowski. The Blue Hens would rattle off 2 quick goals within 20 seconds of each other, making the score 3-1. The 2 teams would then trade goals, one being scored by sophomore Brittany Stevens with an assist from classmate Sarah Elias. LaSalle then went on a small run, scoring 3 straight goals from Maddie Dukowski, sophomore Hope Smith, and sophomore Bridget Ruski, giving the Explorers the upper hand at 5-4. With 12 seconds left in the first half, Delaware would tie the game at 5 apiece. The Blue and Gold started their second half off strong with a goal from Brittany Stevens. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep up the momentum, only scoring 2 more goals in the entire half, while the Blue Hens would score 6. After LaSalle tied the game at 7, Delaware's Sarah Bernard scored 3 straight to give them the upper hand. The final score of the game ended up being 11-8. Maddie Dachowski ended the game with 3 goals, as Brittany Stevens and Bridget Rusky both ended with 2. The loss brings the Sal's overall record to 1-2. For SportsLine, I'm Isaiah Clark.
Men's swimming and diving headed to the Atlantic 10 Championships in Ohio, and it kept the record books busy. The first day of the championships started off hot on the diving board as standout freshman Steven Stasola finished third in the 1-meter dive with the score of 277.55. LaSalle came in third place in the 800 free relay with a time of 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Day 2 of the championships were comprised of shattered records. Marcus Forsgren broke a record in the 50 free by 0.04 of a second. Kyle McElwee finished the 500 free in 4 minutes and 27 seconds and broke the record by 1/10 of a second. Zach Wolbert finished the 400 IM in 3 minutes 50 seconds, breaking the old record by 3 seconds. On the third day, Zach Wolbert broke the 400 IM record by nearly 3 seconds. Forsgren also broke another record in the 100 breast. On the fourth and final day, Wolbert broke another record in the 200 fly, and the 400 free relay team shattered yet another record.
The women's swimming team also traveled to Ohio to compete in the Atlantic 10 Championship. On the second day there, senior standout Olivia DiStefano and junior Carrie Horan made the biggest splash for the Explorers. DiStefano is the only person to take the podium for the women following her third-place finish in the 100 back, touching the wall at a time of 55.21 seconds. Horan secured a good finish as well, placing 6th in the 100 breast. On the final day, Horan also placed 5th in the 200 breast, while Phoebe Shaya finished 6th in the 3-meter dive with a score of 273 points. The 400 free team of Sarah Rossetto, Ann Moser, Sarah Wyant, and DiStefano finished 7th with a time of 3 minutes and 27 seconds to conclude the A10 championship weekend.
The men's track team competed in the A10 championships this past Sunday, where they won 5 titles and placed 4th overall with a combined 88 points. Junior Darian Alston captured the triple jump title and even broke his own school record with a leap of 15.2 meters. The Explorers also snagged the 4x800 relay crown with the combined efforts of senior Nathan Gillis, sophomore Luke Jaku-Zurakovsky, grad student Nick Smart, and junior Anthony Hawthorne. Senior Nathan Gillis also took home the 800-meter gold with a time of 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Sophomore Dennis Mania took home a win as well in the high jump with a leap of 2.7 meters. A very impressive day for our men's track team overall.
The women's track and field team had a busy weekend as they also competed in the Atlantic 10 Indoor Championship. On Saturday, Ariel Mitchell broke her own school record in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.58 seconds. On Sunday, she also took silver in the event. Junior Jessica Bryant and senior Kaylee Miller placed 4th and 5th in the long jump with equal scores of 5.75 meters. But on Sunday, Miller took 6th in the triple jump while Bryant finished 10th. The Explorers also took 4th in the distance medley relay, with the team consisting of Liz Mancini, Desiree Osley, Michaela Eberly, and Grace Mancini, who also took home gold in the 3,000-meter. Freshman Ariana Wallace and Leah Sassaman finished 15th and 16th in the 800-meter preliminaries, while Deirdre Gilmore finished 16th in 5,000 meters and Lexi Sciarantino finished 17th in the mile.
The women's water polo team played their first home game of the season this year. It ended in a 19-5 loss against nationally ranked Princeton. Despite their efforts to get on the board early, the Explorers led up goal after goal to the Tigers, who dominated most of the weekend. The real story for the team, however, happened at the Red Fox Invitational. The Blue and Gold won 2 games in a single day for the first time in program history. Opening the day against Mercyhurst, LaSalle used strong efforts from sophomore Sarah DeFusco and Madeline Corper to beat the Lakers 10-8. Their second win against St. Francis Brooklyn was their second D1 win ever. This time, sophomore Madison Martinez was the star for the Explorers, pacing the team with 3 goals, 3 assists, and 4 steals.
Don't touch that dial, because when we come back, we're going to take a look at part 2 of the Bill Bradshaw interview.
According to the Mayo Clinic, exercising has stress-busting benefits by bumping up your endorphins and improving your mood.
Welcome back. Here's the second part of my interview with Athletic Director Bill Bradshaw. Players that were on that 68-69 men's basketball team. You got to see them as a student, you said. How was that to induct them into the LaSalle Wall of Fame?
Tegan, it was just special. More than special, I'd call it extraordinary, because those were a lot of my classmates.
Right.
As a graduate in '69, and having our 50th anniversary this year with my classmates and teammates, people like Fran Dunphy, who was a year behind, but was the shortstop on the baseball team when I was the second baseman. So we were the double play combination.
Right.
Larry Cannon, Fatty Taylor, Stan Lodarchik, Joe Markman, you know, all my classmates, and some of them teammates, because some of them also played baseball. So it was just to have them go in the Hall of Fame, to have Larry Cannon's jersey retired 2 years ago, all these just extraordinary, special moments for me.
That's incredible. I mean, I can only imagine what that's like for you, knowing these people and knowing just how successful they were and how important they are, as well as how important you are to this university and the culture that the university has and the name that the university has. It's quite unbelievable to know how amazing that class was.
And how important their time at LaSalle was.
Right.
And how special a place LaSalle is.
Right.
And what a great place to be educated and to grow up and to be, and as it is today.
Right.
That's what's so special for me coming back, to try to tie that all in. But years later, see these young men and young women come back and be so grateful to the place that helped them get to where they are in their careers.
Yeah, so you're talking about the academic success of the university and how great of an institution it is for anybody, not just for athletes. One of your kind of, legacies as an athletic director is bringing that academic side into the athletics and into the sports programs. As of right now, according to Go Explorers, since you've came back in 2016, our athletes' GPA is at 3.12, I believe you said.
Yes. Yes.
Which is absolutely incredible.
It's a GPA I would have liked to attain.
Right.
When I was
Yeah.
here, unfortunately, did not. So to be athletic director and watch that happen for our men and women, and to have 21 of our 25 intercollegiate teams be above a 3.0 is very special.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's on the students, but there has to be a role that you and the coaches and all the staff in the athletic department have in pushing them to be as best as they can be off the court as well as on the court.
Well, I think it's a very high priority, maybe the most high priority we have. And we're all educators. We think we're coaches or athletic directors, administrators, but education is our career. That's what we do, and we couldn't be more proud to see our graduation rate being as high as it is, to seeing, you know, our rate of retention being over 96% for our student athletes, and to see the kind of careers they're involved with and how important it is for them to come back and give back to LaSalle. And I only hope that when I leave here and look back at my career that I've given back as much as LaSalle's given to me.
Yeah. So we're talking about LaSalle an awful lot, and I want to talk about you just a little bit. I mean, some of the things you've done are truly amazing. I mean, even just revitalizing the programs that you have in the 3 years that you've been back, the turnaround has been amazing. I keep saying amazing. It's been outstanding. What do you think that your legacy will be as a LaSalle athletic director, but also as an athletic director in general?
Well, I'm hoping this last time it's that we're taking seriously academics while we're elevating the intercollegiate programs, that we're trying to evaluate it, look at it, make some recommendations before I go, to watch, as I said, the seeds grow and bear fruit. I think that's going to tell a lot about how our program can come back, especially in men's and women's basketball, and of course of all the other sports. But the legacy is going to be probably for others to dictate, and often our legacies aren't determined until years after we're gone. And I've said that the profession we're in is like a relay race. like the Penn relays. Somebody hands the baton to you, and you take it, and you run your lap. And sometimes when you get the baton, you're way ahead, and you need to keep that.
Right.
Sometimes you're in the middle of the pack, and sometimes you're behind.
Right.
And I think we'll be very proud of how our lap will be judged by others, and how we ran that lap, and where we handed it off to somebody else, and what condition it was, and then how it advanced from there. I think therein will be our legacy.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. I think, especially in athletics, you can only do so much in your time, but preparing people to move forward is what's truly key in maintaining a legacy.
And I hope people will look back and say that we had very good people that we hired in administration and the coaches, that they continued on and rose up the progress that we've made, that the arrows pointed up, the momentum is going, and that's the best thing you can do in our business. It's momentum, and it's really about the people you hire and our ability to hire, and I think LaSalle will be able to for years to come.
All right, the last thing I've got for you, I want to let you make a statement to the students, to alumni, to whoever you want to address. I mean, there's a lot of people that would love to hear what you have to say. So if you have anything to say to them moving forward, what would that be?
Well, just my gratitude to LaSalle University, from President Hanich to the faculty and staff, to the students particularly, to the students who are thinking about coming to LaSalle in the future. I just can't tell them how proud I am to have chosen LaSalle, to have come here and walked on and then made the team. It says a lot about LaSalle and the opportunities that are here. So all those opportunities LaSalle presented to me. So I feel so fortunate in choosing LaSalle, how my career here worked out, my education, how the opportunities I had in professional baseball and in my career at Niagara, how those came to be because of LaSalle. So my message to everyone is thank you. Thank you to LaSalle. Thanks for continuing to be a great university. Thanks for having me back at your own risk. But thank you for having me back, and thank you for having me leave with a smile on my face, feeling so good about what LaSalle University did for me.
Mr. Bradshaw, I'd like to say thank you. We are fortunate to have you around. I promise you that much.
Thank you, Tegan.
Absolutely. That's all we've got for this edition of On the Sidelines. We'll send it back to the desk. Former LaSalle basketball player B.J. Johnson is reportedly going to sign a 10-day contract with the Atlanta Hawks. He will be the second LaSalle graduate in the NBA since Rasul Butler in 2002. We will keep you updated on Johnson Watch.
We'll keep an eye on Johnson Watch during this quick break. We just love B.J. Johnson. When we come back, we will have Josh Warner make his SportsLine debut in this week's Explorer Report. There's plenty of LaSalle sports action this upcoming week, so let us welcome Josh Warner for this week's Explorer Report.
Saturday, March 2nd, the women's basketball team will face off against George Mason at home at 2 p.m. The Explorers currently sit with a 5-24 record and a 2-13 conference record. Meanwhile, the Patriots are 16-12 overall with a conference record of 8-7. The two teams played each other back on February 14th, where the Patriots came away with a 59-42 win. One player that was crucial to George Mason's win was sophomore Nicole Cardano Hillary. the reigning A10 Rookie of the Year, has proven that this season is no sophomore slump. She averages 20 points per game and 17 scored against LaSalle. Containing her will be critical to LaSalle's success in the game. The Explorers will also need to capitalize on scoring opportunities. In their previous matchup, George Mason limited the Explorers to 3 points in the second quarter. They will need big performances from their captains, Jaron Reese and Shalina Miller. Reese most recently had a double-double against St. Bonaventure, which consisted of 10 points and 16 rebounds. Miller has proven to be an effective scorer in the paint this season, and the Explorers will need to continue to feed her the ball to give her more scoring opportunities against the Patriots' defense. This game will be LaSalle's last home game before the A10 tournament and will serve as a last preparation for the conference tournament. For SportsLine, I'm Josh Warner.
Thanks, Josh. Okay, so real quick, we have predictions for this week's game. I'm going to let Tegan go first.
Okay. The last time we played George Mason, we got absolutely destroyed. We're playing at home this time, so I think we're still going to get beat 68-55, just not as bad as the last time we played them.
I also have us getting beat, which is rare for me. We know that. I have them losing 73-65. And Josh also has a pick, so we can roll to that.
62-48.
Josh is so much more optimistic than us.
Yeah, I feel like Josh might have mixed up which team he was trying to talk about there, but I'm not really sure.
But maybe he just has faith.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that just about wraps it up for us this week. If you can't make it out to see the Explorer Report, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com or check out this week's edition of The Collegian.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV or on Twitter at SportsLineLTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there.
For Miles, Isaiah, Josh, and our SportsLine team, I'm Tegan Lamont.
And I'm Dana Pecor. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you at the game.